everyone. You guys are doing well. Welcome to the second video of in September 2024 analysis. Now, so far, what we have covered, I must introduction, right? So far, we have covered introduction. We have covered the industry's information, right? Overview of that, and so far we have to cover all these factors. And I've told you the pattern of information given in the exam is simply that you will be given about the industry and then you will be given about the company. So through this, through analyzing this, what you have to do, through analyzing this, you have to predict requirements, right? So the higher or the good the analysis, the good the requirements will be, right? The good the analysis, the good the requirements will be. So we just a brief recap that we have seen that our market was very lower to our competitors, MB, but then we got ourselves grow in such a pattern that we took more market share of ZMB, and then we got a good name, Biego, right? And this was our inclining trend that we have seen, right? And this was our inclining trend that we have seen. Now, so what we are left with, so we have a couple of things to cover today. One thing is TNC services that we have to do, like what type of services this transport network company offers, right? Or transport network industry offers, right? Then TNC's customers, what are our customers, right? We have to discuss that as well, that what exactly are our customers. And then TNC's drivers, what are the drivers, like who's driving the car, right? And then what are the industry challenges, we have to discuss that, latest developments and regulations. So this is particularly the fact that I'm going to take for today, and then we'll discuss about the company, right? So if we talk about the services that this TNC offers, right? If we talk about the services that this TNC offers, the services are quite simple. One is service ride sharing. Now, now see guys, the grip on this case needs to be very strong, right? The grip on this case needs to be very strong. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a good question to be attempted, right? You won't be able to attempt a question if the grip is not. So you should be knowing what. Now think like this is your industry, and you should be knowing that what products you are offering, right? This should be like that what products you are offering. Now, first is service ride sharing. Now, what's service ride sharing? It's simple that the term ride sharing refers to sharing a ride with other passengers. Now, have you tried that? Like, I'm going to book a taxi, and then you are also going to book a taxi, and then we are going to book a same taxi, and we'll go particularly to the destinations. Although our destinations are separate, but ride sharing is that the system will allow that we both opt a same taxi, and the route is kind of a same. Let's say I have to settle for here, and you are going to settle at this position. So these are the two destinations. So we'll book a cab. One is mine, one is yours, and then we'll go to the first destination. I'll leave, and then we'll go to the other destination, right? So this is ride sharing. Now, sharing a ride with other passengers, right? A shared ride allows multiple and unrelated customers with pickup and drop-off locations, along with same or similar route to share a vehicle for that journey, usually at a discounted price. Now, this is a cost-effective ride, right? I'll say that this is a cost-effective ride because now the cost is being allocated at two passengers. This is a cost-effective ride as the cost is being allocated in two passengers, right? And both Zembi and Biego. And one thing in this case is that I've seen, and I'll be bringing you that every time my competitor is being given to me. Many time I've seen that my competitor is being given to me. So there might be a competitor analysis, right? They might be asked you to do the competitor analysis or performance evaluation. This might be a question, right? Performance evaluation of you and your competitor over the years. They might give you such data because they have been so, like, so far we have just read 2 or 3 pages, and in these pages they have given you many connections with the competitor, right? Now, both Zembi and Viago were initially established to offer a ride sharing service, enabling drivers with customers to connect and sharing a ride, right? Ride sharing aims to reduce number of single occupancy ride. Now, this what this ride sharing does, it gets you avoids single ride, right? It avoids single ride, and this is really good because this will be a cost effective manner. This will be a cost effective thing, right? So it avoids sharing occupancy rights with cities, reducing congestion and impacting positively on the environment. Now, see why the environment has been positively impacted. Simply that now you both are going to use one single car, so the carbon emission would be reduced, right? Carbon emission would be reduced, and if carbon emission is reduced, so that means you have saved the environment. So, ride sharing is also preferred by the environmental friendly customers and also preferred by environmental friendly companies. Now, the cost of the ride is also shared between each customer, making it a cost effective transportation option, right? So, the cost sharing of ride shared between each customer, making it a cost effective transportation option. We'll be bearing less cost, right? We'll be having a less cost, and customers must specifically request a shared ride on CNC's platforms. Look, so what will happen if you can open your application? You'll see ride sharing, you'll see only ride, you'll see pickup, like these type of functions. So what you have to do, you have to share the ride sharing, you have to opt the ride sharing so that they can particularly get this, right? Now, ride hailing. So one type of product that our company offers is ride sharing. You should be knowing. And why I'm taking such a time to analyze this pre-scene is to dissolve in you guys. If you will dissolve this pre-scene in you guys, then it will be easy in the exam that you won't be using pre-scene again and again because you have many things, right? Now, ride hailing. Now, what's ride hailing? The term ride hailing refers to when a customer requests a driver to take them to exactly where they need to go. Now, exactly you have to go on to the destinations, right? Like point to point, you are going on to the destinations. So this is right to right, right? This is a right to right. Now, this can be achieved by virtually hailing a ride from business using their app or website. They're talking a lot about website, but I don't think so that website bookings will be higher because now the world, their bookings need to be questioned, like whether they are higher or lower, because I don't think so that any of us go on to the www.kareem.com or www.uber.com and then book all the rides. We don't do that, right? We have application. So preferred by customers should be, will be, and have to be the application. Now, using a traditional taxi cab business, this would be achieved by hailing a taxi cab from the street or making a phone call to book one. So, traditionally, how the ride hailing have been preferred? So, traditionally, the ride hailing have been preferred by going for taxi cab business. Like you'll go onto the street, you'll take the hand there, that whether there's a taxi available, you'll get to know the location, or you'll be dropped on your location, or you can call your taxi friend or anything. But through this, in the ride hailing in application, you just have to put ride hailing and then you'll get that, right? You just have to put ride hailing and then you'll get that. So this would be achieved by hailing a taxi cab from the street or making a phone call to book one, right? This would be achieved by a taxi cab, and you have to book a phone call to book one. So ride hailing is the most popular service offered by most TNCs, including Zembi and Viego. These rides can be on demand and scheduled in advance. Now, this is one thing. This is one thing, right? This is one thing that you should be noting of, that this can be scheduled, and this is a greater facility. Now, let me give you an example. I went I went to Gulf, particularly Dubai, and I had a meeting in Abu Dhabi, right? So I landed in Dubai and I had to go to two days after. So what my inviters did, they booked the cab for me, which will pick it to me to Marina and will go to particularly to Abu Dhabi, where my meeting is there, right? So they booked the pick, and did you know when did they pick this? Did you know that when did they pick this particular, the day before I landed, right? Like the day before I landed, or I'll say the day they booked the tickets. In fact, I opted Emirates, so they allowed me to particularly have a pickup from the airport and leave at the hotel. So this can be one thing tested here. Just my experience. This can be one thing tested here, that they could also have an alliance with particularly airlines, because airlines gets the traveler there, and if airlines gives you an option to select your taxi by the customer at a good rate, so they'll rather be waiting at the airport for the taxi or the metro, they'll be selecting the taxi, right? So what they did, they already booked, because it just requires a schedule in advance. They know when I'm going to be traveling through roads. So there's particularly the question that's whether we can book this taxi for you that will take you from the hotel to the particularly meeting place. So I told yeah, and they booked it. So this was ride hailing. The day I landed, the taxi was booked before that, because this travel was scheduled. So every scheduled traveler, they would be preferring ride hailing, because they know that there's prolapse needs to be that their customer needs to be traveling through this, right? Now, two services have been taken care of: ride sharing, ride hailing. Now, what's micro mobility? What's micro mobility? So, micro mobility refers to a network of shared bicycles, right? Which can be rented by customers looking for transportation options which are more active. So, micro mobility refers to a network of shared bicycles. Have you seen bicycle stands where uh, you can take particularly any one of the bicycle by just log in into your app, and you'll log in your app will have the credit card of yours or the debit card or any payment option, right? Any payment option. So what will happen? Let's say I have to go somewhere, I don't have the car, I'll go down the hotel, I'll pick this taxi up, I'll scan the QR code so that it will be mapped with my particularly application, right? It will be mapped with my particular application, and then the timer will start that I've rented this bike, and I'll go anywhere. Now, sir, here's a question, that whether I have to particularly leave bike at the same place. So no, you don't have to leave bike at the same place. What will happen is, it's simple. What will happen is, it's simple, that wherever I found any stand, I'll leave the bike there, I'll scan the QR and right. So see, micro mobility refers to the shared bicycles, which can be rented by customers looking for transporting options which are more active, right? Lower priced and more environmental friendly. Yeah. And in Gulf, Kareem is doing a greater market for this, right? I'm not promoting Kareem, but I've since I've traveled that particular pattern, so I've got an idea that what they exactly do, right? So the bicycle can be rented to any docking station. Yeah, this is the greater flexibility. You don't have to come back. It's any option, right? You don't have to come back. It's any option, any docking option you can take and you can leave. You don't have to use the same option, right? Micro mobility options are often used by customers to complete last part of their journey, such as a bicycle from a bus or train station to the place of their work. So what people do, here's a people, they'll go to the metro, and here's, let's say, 2 kilometers to office. So after going at metro, they'll take bike, right? After going metro, they'll take bike, and through the bike, they'll go to office. And after the office, they'll go to the metro at the bike and then leave. So this is a greater, I'll say, or if there's a docking station near to this, right? Or if there's a docking station near to this, so this will also be a benefit. If there's a docking station near to this, so this is also the benefit, right? This is also the benefit, right? So micromobility is again a value added feature. Micromobility is again a value added feature. Now, the other words, service, car rentals, and business services. What are these products? So see, service car rentals. I guess these are basically particular cars that you want to move, right? So partnership agreement between or arrangement between TNCs and local and national government. So see, customers rentals is a partnership arrangement between TNCs and local and national car rental businesses, where customers can book a rental car through TNC's platform. So now this is a basically a mutual arrangement, or I'll say a mutual perception that rental in a partnership arrangement between TNCs and local national car rental business. Now I don't need taxi. I don't need taxi tab. I want something else, right? I'm not liking the taxi tab, so I want something else. So what I'll do, I'll ask my cab provider that give me a private car. So for that private car, either cab has to own the car, which our business doesn't prefer because we don't even own our cab driver's car. So if we don't even own our cab driver's car, so what will happen? So I'll do the partnership arrangement. So what will happen? I'll do the partnership arrangement between TNCs and car rentals. So that if my customer want a private car, they'll just opt for that button and the red car will go there, right? So can customers book a rental car through TNC's platform? The focus is on minimizing the need for car ownership and making car rental a viable and easy alternative. That the need of this business is simple. I'll say this is a transporting industry, right? Here, what they prefer that no one should own the car or no one should use the car. Owning car is not a good option for this industry. Like if everyone will get own the car, then how the transportation industry would work? So what their aim is that they should be providing a good, easy alternative to ownership. They'll be providing a good, easy ownership to alternative, right? So customer can arrange a car rental for these days. Now, have you seen movies? In the movies, when the people travel, they particularly get 14 days, 10 days, 9 days trip, and a particular car rental for that. So they don't book a taxi, they basically rent a car. Now, this can be done by these particular business, right? So these can be done by these particular businesses, right? Yeah. So again, a service car rental is a good option. The car rental business pay a commission to TNC for each car rental booked through the TNC's platform. So what I'll do, I'll go onto the application. I'll say I need a car permanently or temporarily for, but not for one day or one destination. I need it for 10 days. So I'll be directly logged in into these car rental businesses, or they might have given me access. My application would give the cars that, like, we have sedan, we have SUVs, we have hashbacks, whichever your cross hashback, anything, whichever you want, right? Whichever you want. So what you'll do, you'll particularly take these cars. What you'll do, you'll particularly take these cars, you'll pay the rental, and the rental company would give, particularly a commission to those transport network companies through which these cars are being booked, right? So another good option. And now the business services. Now, what are the business services? Business services, it's basically a range of business to assist their employees to communicate effectively, to travel to events and meetings. Also, business uses TNCs provide courtesy transport to the customers and clients, and business service solutions help client business to reduce costs, save time, and streamline their own ground. Now, I was I was discussing with one of my colleague. He's particularly based in Saudi Arabia. One of my colleague I have been discussing, so he was particularly based in Saudi. He was saying that here's one audit firm that provides the transport services to their employees. Here's one audit firm that provides the transport services to their particular employees, right? So what they do, they basically have given a coupon to the employee that they can be using to commute effectively from the client to particularly firm, or from firm to client, or from home to farm, or farm to home, right? So what this happens is basically to attract your customers. But again, here, what earns or who earns? It's a transport network company because someone is paying them. It's a business service, right? It's not a particular pick and drop service. It's that they have been asked to put one employee from here to that company. So they, and the frequency of the transaction is daily. Like they have to daily do that. They have to make sure that they are daily providing these services, right? They have to make sure that they are daily providing these services, right? So it's a range of businesses to assist their employees to commute effectively and to travel events and meetings. Also, businesses have a courtesy transport, and they might have the car options for this, right? They might have the car options for this as well, particularly for any car they have been using for this business, right? So guys, our industry is 5 business based, right? Our industry is 5 product based. It's service ride sharing, where 2 people are going to share a particular ride. Then there is ride hailing. Now what's ride hailing? It's that I need one car for the exact location, and it's pre-booked. It can be booked in advance, right? Then there is micro mobility like taking particularly bicycles from one location to other location. I just have to use the mobile docking app and the docking station, and that's it. And I can be docked at any location. I don't have to come back to the same location to leave the bike. Car rentals, it's like I am going on a trip for 14 days. I need a car, so I'll go on to this app. I'll say that I need car, not for one particular destination, not for one particular day, for a particular complete transaction, for a particular complete transport network companies. So 14 days, so they'll give me this option. And business services, like I have to get my employees travel. I cannot give them car, but I can give them a monthly facility. In fact, some companies have give them a reimbursement, right? Like use your cards or particularly money in paying these while traveling for business, and I'll reimburse. So many people do this. The major thing is that we have 5 business activities. The major thing is that we have 5 business activities, and we have got enough information on that, right? We have got enough information on that, right? So overview is done, introduction is done, VLAN market is done, TNC services is done, and now we have TNC's customers and TNC's riders. Now we have TNC's customers and TNC's riders, right? Now, what are TNC's customers? And similarly, what are TNC's drivers? See, customer is one which needs to be picked up and to be dropped off. Customer is one which needs to be picked up from one location and to be dropped off at other location. So TNC's customers used to travel from one point to another, right? They are going to be one point for another, commuting to and from, exploring shops and local businesses. They are particularly employees, I'll say, of any organization who needs the travel. They are particularly travelers that they are using the traveling. They are particularly the travelers also, right? There particularly might be some emergency transports, like people have the car, but they are using the transports for some emergency, right? In fact, would you believe that I particularly use these transports despite having the car? The thing is of the traffic, the thing is of the car efficiency, the thing is of on my mood. Yeah, people use on mood, like customers, if they have mood of getting into another car, they can use that. And in fact, some of the applications have the filter of any particular car. Like if you're going to use the Audi, then this is the charges. If you're going to use the Tesla, then these are the charges, right? So, how I can become a customer? So, sir, how I can become a customer? It's simple. That to become a customer, an online account must be created. You need an online account or the customer app that you need to create. You have to download that application, right? So your personal details, name, address, email, they must also input credit or debit card details, as all payments to be are electronically. Now, guys, this is one of the factor. Like if there is a payment in cash, if there is a payment in cash, so the problem would be that drivers might do fraud. Like drivers might do fraud if there's a payment in cash. So usually, whenever we pay, we prefer the card option, right? And we also prefer, because today's I'll say transport is a non-cash transport. You're not going to take money and give to the uh, drivers, unlike it was traditional one. Right now there is everything in the card, in your card, right? So the cash payment is not allowed, and the thing is that drivers can do fraud. Now there are particular controls to it also. Like I've also discussed one particular thing in my previous exams that I've solved with you guys, that a fraud declaration is very important. So controls can be made. One control is not to do the cash payment. The other control can be, if they are going for cash payment, the other control can be like they should be asking every driver to clear their account at night. Otherwise, you cannot drive tomorrow, right? Like clear your account. If you have some amount in your owed from your customers, kindly deposit it in our account. Kindly give it into our office. Yes, the electronic option is the best one. I'll say the electronic option is the best one. But again, if this is possible, so you can do that, right? If this is possible, so you can do that. Now once registered, customer can choose from range of services. Like if you have registered, now all the services, the 5 services that we got, right? The 5 services that we got, you can see that. To book ride or hail or ride or share, the customer must enter their pickup locations. Yeah, if you are going to ride share and ride hail, the pickup locations, sometimes its inaccuracy can lead to loss to the customer as well as the company. Like I remember there was an issue in Pakistan that the locations were not easily traced up. So the drivers were calling to the customer, sir, where are you? I am on the location. The other customer says, I have got another location. You are on the wrong side. So the communication needs to be good with them, right? So there's an issue if there's pickup location is not fine, and a price for the ride is quoted at the point of booking, which customers must confirm. Yeah, the price is booking. So there is no allowance for drivers. There is no allowance for to there's no allowance for drivers to negotiate, because customer has already confirmed the amount, right? So a notification of the ride request is then automatically sent to PNC's drivers app, and once customer has confirmed the amount, there will be a pop-up that this customer is willing to go to this place at this price. This customer, the pop-up will appears on the driver's mobile that this customer is willing to go for this place at this price, right? So it will be given to many drivers, right? It will be given to many drivers. So once a driver has confirmed acceptance, the customer app notifies the customer of the driver profile, the vehicle model, and the vehicle registration number. Now you must be feeling this because you guys have done this, right? You must be feeling this. Now, if you have done this, you must be also be knowing the things that's not in the case study but can be tested, like the security, right? Like how you can be like what usually people do is that they share that live location with the customers, like girls do, like live a location with their particular family members so that they can be traced up. So security concerns through this is also valid, guys. In fact, one of the requirements can be a fraud of one, right? Like there can be a if company has done in cash in the past, like they can make a case that if company has done cash in the past, there were the frauds. So what can be the possible or alternatives to cash? One requirement can be security, right? Security of the drive of the customers. This could be one of the issue as well. Security of the customers. So these are the predictions that these can be tested, right? These are the predictions that these can be tested. Why? You have got the driver profile, the vehicle model, and the registration number, which allow customer to check details before getting into vehicle, right? Before customer, yeah. So the last thing about the customers is that customer app tracks an arrival of the driver on in-app map. Yeah, so there's an in-app map. Obviously it can be of the company made, or they can take particularly from Google or Apple, wherever they prefer, they can take it, so that the customer can check progress of the driver's arrival, and at the end of the ride, payment is automatically deducted from customer's bank credit card. And one thing that I'll add, because we have used that, so one thing I'll add is that you give ratings to your ride, right? You give stars, like these are the stars that you are going to give. So this is how your ride gets complete. So this is the complete picture that how a customer can use this ride. Like this is a complete picture that how a customer can use this ride. Now, the other thing is that how a driver can become or can register with this app, right? Now, how a driver can register themselves with this app? So it's simple. You have to download the driver's app, the variant. The variants are different, guys. The variants are different. One is customer app and one is driver's app, right? So this needs to be done. Then driver must choose the city they wish to drive in. Yeah, the driver has to choose the city they wish to drive in. Like if you're driving the app, so you cannot be operating in every city. Your prime city of operation is one, right? So driver must have a BLAN driving license or a private car license by a local authority. You need to have the licenses. The driver must have a recent photo so that customer can identify them. See if they have incorporated their childhood photo, so how the customer would be sitting in this car. Yes, the car number or the car location is good thing, but again, you have to track of the driver. At least we verify the name as well. So the track of photo and name needs to be done. So a driver is not authorized to drive without the background checks. Yeah, security, guys. I told you the security concerns. So drivers should have the background check, including the criminal background. See, they have mentioned that we cannot allow anyone to drive with these offenses. We cannot allow anyone to drive with these offenses, right? Or medical help rechecks those backgrounds checking normally at third party expert provided. The good thing is that these checks are being outsourced. Now the good thing is that these checks are been outsourced to the third party. Now, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Like if I'm going to check, I might have my responsibility. I might not be following the thing by myself because I'm occupied with the task. If I've outsourced this checking facility and I'm paying them, the pay terms would be monthly or per driver check. But this would allow particular app provider. This would allow particular app provider a good check, right? This would allow a particular app provider or a particular customer that my drivers have been checked by the third party according to every aspect. So this will give you a good impression, right? In fact, the company can highlight that. Company can highlight that our drivers, each and everything is checked, right? Each and everything is checked. So this automatically reduces the fraud element. So once you are verified, driver can accept the rides. So unless there's no verification, then you cannot accept the driver. You cannot accept the particular drivers app, right? So most TNCs require drivers to have a vehicle which meets specifications relating to the age of conditions. Yeah, condition of vehicle, guys. Like you should be having 2015 plus car. You should be having that much miles driven, right? You should be having that much miles driven. So these are the factors that they should be taking care of, right? However, drivers do not need their own vehicles, leased vehicles. Drivers can take the lease or rented vehicles, right? So TNCs offer leasing facility. Yeah. And see, we do not own the car, but we'll get you own the car. How? By getting a leased facility through there. How? By getting a leased facility through there. Okay. So we can do that. We can do that. And driver do not set their own prices, the app does, right? Each ride is calculated by TNCs based on a standard rate plus per charge per kilometer, and drivers pay each drivers between 75% to 85% of the ride. So this is a good amount, right? Now how our company earns? TNC earns on volume. They are not interested in a one or two ride. They want their drivers to achieve millions rides monthly, right? Millions in months. Why? Because we are earning just 15%. If our earning percentage is less, so our product volume should be greater. If our earning percentage is less, our product volume should be greater, must be greater, so that we get a good idea, right? So that we get a good idea. So in B-Lab, drivers marking for TNCs are recognized as independent contractors. The drivers are independent contractors. They are not the employees, and this allows driver to change their working hours. Since driver is self-employed, so that means they can allow their working hours. They are not the employee, so there's a flexibility, right? You must have gone through the differences between employees and self-employed, right? So there is a flexibility that attracts wide range of drivers. That if I am particularly a retired person, I cannot drive 9 hours, so I'll drive 4 hours. I cannot drive these time hours, so I'll drive those time hours, right? So retired people, students, part-time workers, they prefer that, right? They prefer this one. So guys, in today's session, we have covered the product element, right? In today's session, we have covered the product element, like what are the products that we are offering: service ride sharing, ride hailing, micro mobility, service cars rentals, business services. And then we did TNC's customers, how they can be a customer, what they do, and TNC's drivers, like how you can become the driver, Okay, so in next class, we'll be closing the TNC's particular like healing and ride sharing process, industry challenges, latest developments, and KPIs. And once this is done, so we'll be having a Biago overview. So how our company is performing in this particular thing. It will take 2 more sessions or 3 more sessions, which I'll be uploading daily, particularly. And this is how this case will be done, right? So guys, again, I'll be reminding of you some important dates. Again, I'll be reminding of you some important dates that you should be taken care of. And what are those? I've written it here. I've written it here that yeah. So part one analysis of part two is done, and then we'll have part three, part four, and part five might be. So this will be done, and after that, I'll be releasing a mock, right? 25th of August, like by tomorrow mid time. Now it's early morning, but tomorrow mid time, I'll be releasing a mock based on this company, and I'll be solving that, right? But this is part of the crash course. I'll be solving that. And up 27th, I'll be giving you another mock, another particular facility, and you can solve it and get that check, right? You can solve it and get that check. So this will enhance the grip on this case. Guys, the beauty of SBL is simple that now you know the industry. Now people have got the data, so I can make the questions and then you can practice it accordingly, right? And you can practice it accordingly. My WhatsApp number has been given to you. You can text me for further details, and then particularly kindly wait for the next parts. In the next parts, you'll get more details, and probably by tomorrow, we'll get someone more mock, and I'll be solving that mock, right? And those who enroll in the crash course will also get a particular access to unlimited past papers that I've solved with my technique, right? So hopefully this class would be fine for you, and see you in the next session. Thank you.